What happened to Natalee Holloway? It's a question that has haunted millions for nearly 2 decades. In 2005, an 18-year-old American teenager vanished without a trace on the tropical island of Aruba, sparking a mystery that gripped the world. Her story, filled with twists, turns, and unanswered questions, remains one of the most perplexing missing persons cases in modern history. Now, new clues have emerged, reigniting hope and curiosity. Could these discoveries finally solve the puzzle of Natalee's disappearance? Let's dive into this chilling tale, exploring the events, suspects, and the latest breakthroughs that keep this case alive. A dream vacation turns nightmare. Imagine this, a group of excited high school graduates celebrating their milestone with a trip to the sunny shores of Aruba. Among them is Natalee Holloway, a bright, ambitious young woman from Alabama with a contagious smile. She was ready to embrace life, with plans to attend college and chase her dreams. But on May 30th, 2005, during the final night of her trip, Natalee vanished, leaving behind a trail of questions that still linger today. What could go wrong in paradise? That's what Natalee's friends and family thought as she enjoyed her last night out at Carlos and Charlie's, a popular nightclub in Oranjestad, Aruba. She was last seen leaving the club around 1:30 a.m. with 3 young men, Joran van der Sloot, a 17-year-old Dutch student, and 2 brothers, Deepak and Satish Kalpoe. What happened next remains a mystery, but Natalee never returned to her hotel. Her disappearance launched a massive search, international headlines, and a case that would captivate the world. Chaos and confusion. Where could she be? The morning after Natalee vanished, her friends and family realized something was terribly wrong. She hadn't returned to her hotel, and her belongings, including her passport and luggage, were still in her room. Panic set in as her mother, Beth Holloway, flew to Aruba to join the search. Volunteers, local police, and even the Dutch military scoured the island, combing beaches, hotels, and remote areas. Divers searched the ocean, and helicopters scanned the rugged terrain. But there was no sign of Natalee. The Aruban authorities faced intense pressure. The island, a popular tourist destination, wasn't used to handling a case of this magnitude. Early missteps, like delays in questioning key witnesses, frustrated investigators and Natalee's family. The 3 young men last seen with her, Joran van der Sloot and the Kalpoe brothers, quickly became the focus of the investigation. But their stories were vague and inconsistent. What were they hiding? Who is Joran van der Sloot? Could one person hold the key to this mystery? Joran van der Sloot, a charismatic but troubled teenager, emerged as the prime suspect. He admitted to leaving the nightclub with Natalee but claimed he dropped her off at her hotel. The Kalpoe brothers backed his story, saying they drove Joran and Natalee to the beach before returning home. But cracks in their accounts soon appeared. Surveillance footage, witness statements, and inconsistencies in their timelines raised red flags. Joran's behavior didn't help his case. Known for his charm and love of partying, he also had a darker side. Witnesses described him as manipulative, with a history of lying. Over the years, his story about that night changed multiple times, from claiming he left Natalee at the beach to saying she was drunk and wandered off. Was he telling the truth or weaving a web of lies? The Kalpoe brothers, while less scrutinized, weren't cleared either. Their car, which Natalee was seen entering, was searched, but no physical evidence tied them directly to her disappearance. All 3 were arrested multiple times, but without a body or concrete evidence, authorities couldn't hold them. The case stalled, leaving Natalee's family in agony. A case that gripped the world. Why did Natalee's story resonate so deeply? Her disappearance wasn't just a local tragedy, it became a global obsession. News outlets covered every detail, from the search efforts to the family's emotional pleas. Natalee's face, blonde hair, bright smile, became a symbol of innocence lost. The case tapped into universal fears, a young woman vanishing in a place meant to be safe. For parents, it was a nightmare come true. For the public, it was a mystery begging to be solved. Beth Holloway became a fierce advocate, keeping her daughter's case in the spotlight. She appeared on talk shows, worked with private investigators, and even confronted Joran van der Sloot herself. Her determination inspired millions, but also highlighted the frustration of a case with no answers. How could someone vanish without a trace? New clues emerge. A ray of hope? Could new evidence finally crack the case? Over the years, the investigation saw countless leads, some promising, others dead ends. In 2010, a jawbone found on an Aruban beach sparked hope, but DNA testing ruled it out as Natalee's. Divers explored underwater caves and search teams scoured landfills, but nothing definitive was found. The case grew cold, but Natalee's family never gave up. Fast forward to recent years, and new developments have reignited interest. In 2023, Joran van der Sloot, now serving a prison sentence in Peru for an unrelated murder, made headlines again. He confessed to killing Natalee Holloway, claiming he panicked after she rejected his advances and disposed of her body in the ocean. Was this the breakthrough everyone had been waiting for? Van der Sloot's confession came as part of a plea deal in a U.S. extortion case. He had tried to extort $250,000 from Beth Holloway in exchange for information about Natalee's body, only to provide false leads. While his confession offered chilling details, it lacked physical evidence to back it up. Authorities and Natalee's family remain skeptical, knowing Joran's history of lying. Still, the confession has prompted new searches in Aruba, with advanced technology like sonar and drones being used to explore the ocean floor. Technology and tenacity, what can modern science uncover? That's the hook that keeps investigators and the public glued to the Natalee Holloway case. Advances in technology are rewriting the rules of cold cases, and Natalee's story is no exception. Imagine underwater drones gliding through Aruba's dark waters, scanning every crevice with high-resolution sonar, chasing whispers of Joran's chilling claim that her body was cast into the sea. Each scan feels like opening a locked door, waiting to see what secrets lie behind it. Ground-penetrating radar has been rolled across hidden patches of land, guided by private investigators and fueled by the relentless love of Natalee's family. Every beep of the radar sparks the question, is this the moment we finally find her? Science, once limited, is a lantern in the dark, pushing deeper into places that were once unreachable. But technology isn't the only force keeping Natalee's memory alive. The world hasn't let go. Documentaries, podcasts, and gripping TV specials, like the 2017 series The Disappearance of Natalee Holloway, continue to stir public imagination. Each episode, each headline, is another hook pulling us closer. Could the next breakthrough be just around the corner? Or will the mystery stay forever hidden beneath the waves? Joran van der Sloot. Is Joran van der Sloot a serial predator, hiding in plain sight all these years? His name has become a chilling hook in true crime history, tied to not just one tragedy, but several. In 2000, Natalee Holloway's disappearance put him under the spotlight. 5 years later, in 2010, the world watched in horror as he murdered Stephany Flores in Peru, a crime eerily similar in setup. A young woman, a night out, and Joran at the center. That conviction and his 28-year prison sentence painted a darker picture than anyone imagined. Was Natalee just the beginning of a violent pattern? The hooks only deepened with his schemes. In 2010, he attempted to extort Beth Holloway, Natalee's grieving mother, demanding money in exchange for information about her daughter's remains. The cruelty of exploiting a family's heartbreak showed a calculating predator, not just violent, but manipulative. And even after years behind bars, his 2023 confession about Natalee's fate brought mixed emotions. Was it finally closure or just another performance from a man skilled at lies? Each revelation forces the haunting question. Is Joran van der Sloot a one-time killer or a repeat predator who thrived on control, manipulation, and destruction? The pattern, the lies, and the broken lives he left behind suggest a story far more sinister than one crime. The impact on Natalee's family. How does a family survive the unimaginable? When Natalee Holloway vanished in Aruba in 2005, her parents, Beth and Dave, were thrown into a nightmare with no end. For Beth, grief became fuel. Instead of collapsing under the weight of tragedy, she transformed her pain into purpose. She founded organizations to help families of the missing, making sure no parent felt as alone as she once did. She wrote books, gave interviews, and stood on stages across the world, repeating her daughter's name so it would never fade into silence. That in itself is a hook, a mother refusing to let the world forget. Dave Holloway, meanwhile, became a relentless seeker of truth. He hired private investigators, chased tips across continents, and pushed for answers even when the trail grew cold. Each lead brought a flicker of hope, but also the risk of heartbreak when it collapsed. Every false sighting of Natalee was another dagger, reopening wounds that never fully healed. And yet, the Holloways endure. Their story is not only one of loss, but also of resilience. They live with questions that may never be answered, but their love for Natalee keeps them moving forward. Can a family ever find closure when the truth is still missing? Why this case still matters? Why can't we let go of Natalee's story? The disappearance of Natalee Holloway is more than a mystery. It's a reminder of the fragility of safety, especially for young women traveling abroad. It's a cautionary tale about trusting strangers and the limits of justice in foreign countries. The case has also sparked debates about media coverage, with some criticizing the focus on Natalee, a white American teenager, over other missing persons cases. The new clues, particularly Joran van der Sloot's confession, have brought renewed attention. While it may not lead to a body or a conviction, it keeps the pressure on authorities to continue the search. For Natalee's family, every step forward is a step toward healing. In conclusion, will we ever know the truth? What's next for this enduring mystery? As of 2025, the case remains officially unsolved. Joran van der Sloot's confession, while compelling, lacks the physical evidence needed to close the case. Ongoing searches in Aruba, aided by cutting-edge technology, offer hope, but the ocean is vast, and time has erased many clues. The Aruban government, under scrutiny for its handling of the case, has pledged to support new efforts, but resources are limited. For now, Natalee's story lives on through her family's resilience, the public's fascination, and the tireless work of investigators. Could the next clue finally solve this puzzle? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: Natalee Holloway's name will not be forgotten. If you found this video helpful, hit the bell icon for more entertaining content, drop your thoughts in the comments, and thank you so much for watching.